Today, I'll tell you about the life cycles of a plant or a seed. Let's start, shall we? First, a mature and fertilized seed is dispersed from its seed pod. Once the seed is dispersed, it begins its journey. When it finds a place to grow, it will slowly start to germinate. Germination is when a seed starts to grow its first roots. The seed then begins to take in nutrition and water through its roots. The seed is unable to make its own food as it hasn't grown any leaves yet. Then comes stage 2. The appearance of the seed at its second stage states it to have become a seedling. A seedling is when the seed begins to grow its first shoots and slowly evolves its primary roots. By this time, the seed's cotyledons dry up and fall. The seed then grows leaves by the second stage and can now make its own food. Crackling over to the third stage. Next in a life cycle is a young plant. Around this stage, it'll be much easier to identify what type of plant it is. The plant can also properly make food for itself and take in proper nutrition as it has grown its primary and secondary roots. The fourth stage is known as an adult plant. This stage is quite like the young plant, though it is much more mature and has evolved quite more. The next stage is the flowering stage. This stage creates a beginning path for the upcoming processes to create a seed as the plant is now fully mature and ready to become a parent plant. The next stage is a process. Pollination. What exactly is pollination? Pollination is the process where the pollen from the male anther of a flower is dropped onto the sticky female stigma of another flower of the same type. Flowers can be pollinated in many different ways, some of them being by humans, by animals, by birds, by water, by air, etc. I'll make a separate video containing information about pollination and fertilization. Once the pollen reaches the sticky part of the stigma sends a long tube down the style connecting to the ovary. Then, the pollen nucleus go down the tube and reach the ovary. Inside, they get mixed with the ovules inside the ovary, completing a process called fertilization, which is in fact the name of the stage or process after pollination. After which, the ovary turns into a seed pod. Once the seed is fully matured and is ready to survive on its own, the next stage, seed dispersal, begins. Seeds can be dispersed in many different ways. Explosion. Sometimes, the seed pods shoot out the seeds. Many times, seeds go a very long way through this type of dispersal. Wind dispersal. The seeds, which are dispersed by winds, usually have parachute-like structures or wings to help them go a much longer way. Animal dispersal. Animal dispersal is quite a coincidental mode of dispersal. Here, usually spiky seeds stick to fur or clothes and are brushed off at a different location. Sometimes, seeds are consumed by animals and are dispersed at a different location unharmed. Sometimes, birds may bury seeds as food and forget about them. Water dispersal. Plants that grow near rivers or lakes take advantage of the water around them to disperse their seeds. Usually, seeds travel a really long way through water. Not all seeds germinate, and that is exactly why plants produce multiple seeds at once. Once the seed has been dispersed and finds a place to grow, it can begin its own journey.